Good morning, stampers and crafters. Welcome to Tina's Crafty Ink Spot. I have a new technique for you, and it's very new to me, so we're going to kind of learn this together. I saw a video, and I really wish I would have written the lady's name down because she does very nice videos, and this technique is super fun, and I've never even seen it or heard of it before. It's kind of funny. If you're like me, okay, we have our standard embossing powders: black, white, silver, gold, copper. Well, over the years, I end up with this. Okay, I've got a lot of embossing powders. You know, even back when Stampin' Up! Had the different, cherry cobbler or blushing bride, which, that's new. And so I have all these, and although I like to try to use things that are still able to be purchased, pardon my French, we all still have some of these, and you don't need anything specific. You can use your basic ones, but I'm going to show you this really fun technique with embossing powders, and then you can use up, some of this stash you have. There's a couple ways to do this little embossing technique, where you can get these little skins of embossing powder. You can do these fun little with die cuts. It's super cute. It's fun. So let's jump in. And like I said, you're kind of going to learn this with me. So what she used to begin with was some parchment paper. Okay, so we have some. I'm just gonna tear this one in half. So you can get parchment paper at the grocery, at the dollar store, wherever. And then what she did is you also need your heat tool, okay? And later on, if you have one, I will show you how to use your craft iron, or mine's just a regular little travel iron that I keep in my craft room, but we'll do something with that one too. All right, so the basic of this is just melting some embossing powder. And what I'm going to do, the first one I'm going to do is just doing the straight embossing powder. And what we're going to do is I'm going to let's just take some of our basics. Okay, so here's some copper. And you're going to put little piles. Okay, I've got a folded sheet here. And you're going to put little piles of embossing powder. Okay, just random. You can probably do all one color if you want to. But mixing the colors is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's so cool. I'm going to take a little bit of silver here. Oops. Big pile there. Matter of fact, I'm going to move that one around a little. I accidentally dumped it a little. I have a little tiny knife here. I'm just going to move that around a little bit. And let me add just a little bit of gold in there. So you can see where, doing this, you can surely use up some of your embossing powders. You know what I mean? Okay. So let's just start with this little pile. Now, I'm going to fold my parchment paper over, and we're going to use our heat gun. I'm going to turn it on the high setting. Okay, I got to turn on the power. Works better if I turn on the power. And now we're going to heat it up. And while we're heating it, now, you never want to block the vents of your heat gun. And we're going to be pouncing this on here to kind of smush this top into here. But make sure when you do it at sort of an angle. You're not going straight down on the front of your and blocking it, because you can overheat your heat tool. If you do that, my experience is, because yes, I've done it, is unplug your heat tool, let it set for about 15 minutes, plug it back in and try it. It'll probably work. It'll reset. It's most of these have a kind of a breaker switch in them that if they overheat, they'll shut down instead of catching on fire, obviously. So let's get started. We're going to turn it on high, and we're just going to heat up that embossing powder. And meanwhile, I'm going to kind of bounce it on there, pushing the parchment down into the embossing powder. And you'll see it start to melt under there. You can't really overheat it. If your parchment paper starts to burn, it's not going to hurt it. That's kind of what it does when you bake with it. I haven't done that yet, but you want to heat up that embossing powder, melt it real well, kind of tap your heat tool down on it to tap the parchment into it. Now we got a pretty good pile of embossing powder there, so we want to make sure we melt it. You can kind of see it melting under there. Some of your embossing powders will melt faster than others. That's just, whoever makes them or whatever. And I'm tapping to get my parchment paper pulled into there. And now on this first one, while it's heated and melted, I'm going to slowly peel open my parchment. Okay, isn't that pretty? Look at that. But wait till it cools. It gets better. Watch this. Okay, we're going to let that cool a second. Look at how it kind of marbles it and does all this fun stuff. You can put a couple of these on a card. Really great for those of you that like to do mixed media. Just a perfect little technique for that. So now I've got my little palette knife here. Watch this. I'm going to go underneath it. Kind of go underneath there. If you don't have one of these little palette knives, it will peel off here. Look at this. You have little skins, little embossing skins. So one side, it's going to be shiny, or you can use the matte side. How pretty is that? All right, so those are skins. So that's how you make the little skins. Aren't those neat? Put a couple of those on a card, put a little greeting on there. But how cool is that? Okay. Now, I've done a couple of those. Some of them I added some white in there. Look at that. Look at that skin. And this skin, I'm going to show you how I did that one. I'm going to take a little, I just lost the word. I seriously just lost the word. Chipboard, okay? If you don't have chipboard, okay, I just took a punch and cut out a piece of chipboard. If you don't have chipboard, pardon me, the cardboard that comes in your 12 by 12 designer paper, keep those. And they work great as chipboard. So all I did is punched out 2 hearts, glued them together. So now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with something. All right, I'm going to grab some colors. Why don't we grab some colors? I've got some old cherry cobbler here. Let's see what else I got. I've got a little melon mambo and cherry cobbler there. Let's go ahead and do that. So you're just going to do the same thing. You can see how old these are. They're kind of chunky. If they're chunky, just shake up your jar. And it'll see, it breaks it right up. So I'm going to put some of that on there. Oh. Let's try, I've got a whole thing of melon mambo here. Look at that. I haven't even used it. And I'm going to go ahead. I really like, now, when you do the white, know that that is very powerful and it could really take over your deal. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white in here. Okay, we got that. Now we'll fold this over and we're going to do the same thing with our heat tool. So imagine, this could be endless. You could use any kind of die cuts you have and do these really cool embossing on them. But what I'm hoping I'll get here is I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to pounce it on there, make sure it's melted really well, and then hopefully, if I do it right, when I open it while it's hot, I'll end up with a heart skin and also my little die cut heart all decorated. Now you're kind of using your machine to tap it in there for you because it's too hot. It's really too hot to do with your hand. You can see it melting under there. Okay, I'm going to try to peel this up while I've got the heat going on there. Keep it nice and hot. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? How cool is that? So I can pop up my little heart here. Oh, it's still a little wet. I want to be careful. Look at that. Look at the shine and it's marbled. How fun is that? Let's see if we get a little skin out of this. It didn't quite do a heart because some of the, but you still get this. Aren't these skins cool? And look at the back side, your matte side. Isn't that neat? Look at that. Now these skins, what you can do is lay them down and heat them a little and it'll make these little tiny holes in it. I'm just going to do it on my low setting. I'm going to reheat that skin a little bit. And it's going to take the thin areas and kind of bubble it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a second. And this stuff just, strips right off here for you. I'm going to let that cool a sec. But look how it did these little, oh, I love the back. But look how it did the, sorry, my hand's not quite working. Look how it did those little holes. Isn't that neat? Okay, all right. I'm super excited. I'm having fun with it. So I've done a couple. I did some hearts yesterday, putting a little gold in there, a little white. Let's see, what else did I do? This one I really like. This was copper, silver, with a touch of white. And depending on how you pull your paper off is, how it's going to go across. But look at the dimension and stuff on that. Isn't that neat? It's not really focusing, is it? You could just, it's kind of just a fun technique. And that heart right there that I just showed you made this skin. Look at that. For some reason this screams masculine card to me. I've done just some copper and silver. Just kind of, and then you have your matte, if you want matte finish. Okay, now you can do, okay, let me kind of, you could actually do the technique. Let me dump some of this off. Let's take the little piece of parchment and maybe do it directly onto a card, okay? So this would be my basic white card. Let me see what I've got in my little my little drawer of tricks over here. Okay, we got a little yellow there. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, Grapefruit Grove. Remember that one? This one's Tangerine Tango. Let's do orange. Let's do a little bit of our cherry cobbler. So I'm going to put it directly onto my card here. Let's take a little bit of this Tangerine Tango. That was always such a pretty orange. Oh, let me shake it up. It's a little chunky. It's old. These are old. I've had them forever. And when I saw this technique, I thought, yay, there's a way to use up some of those embossing powders. I mean, I know everybody's probably got a drawer of them. I'm just saying. I do. I have an entire drawer of embossing powders. Let's tap in just a little bit of yellow. And, what is this? Crushed curry. Let's drop a little yellow in there. See what that does. Alright, and now just for a little touch of white. Let's just do a little touch of white in there. Like I said, white is pretty powerful. So you don't want to put a whole lot in there. Maybe I'll just add a little touch more right there. Okay, let's see what it does. You're learning it with me. So this is directly onto our card. And let's heat it up. Starting to melt now. And then, like I said, you can tell that some of them melt faster than the others. Just lightly tapping it, pushing the parchment into it. Okay, let's peel it up, see what we got. Now you could just leave the heat gun going on it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that neat? Oops, I missed a whole spot right there. I'm just going to heat it up with my heat tool. And a little stray there. There you go, look at that. You could kind of just do anything. I like the little stray dots and such. But I think I like the skin better on this one. That cherry cobbler kind of turns to a, I had a bunch there I didn't melt. It kind of turns to a pink when you mix the white with it. And there's your little skin. I like this whole stray thing. It's kind of just adds great. Okay, now remember, if we take on low, take that skin and heat some areas of it, it'll kind of make some holes. It kind of melts it a little and adds a few little holes. I think my crushed curry, it really had a hard time melting. God, I don't even remember when that came out. I don't think there's a date on these. But how cool are these? Right? Just lay them on a card or do a 3D right here. You know, you could pick your colors, and maybe we should see if you added to it. You know, like maybe added a metallic and melted it a little more, you know. But I mean, it makes these great abstract backgrounds. Okay, let me show you the other way she showed me, or she did in her video. Let me scrape some of these off here. Aren't those neat? How fun is that? I love anything embossing anyway. Okay, so I got a little bit on here, maybe it'll be okay. It just scrapes right off and then cleans your parchment, so you don't have to go through a lot of parchment. Alright, I'm going to make this to where it folds. And let's try the iron. Okay. So I'm going to do, you know what, maybe some, let's do some metallics. See what it does with the iron. Let's do a little silver. You could get so creative. You could just look crazy with this stuff. You really could. I've been having, you should see the pile of stuff I have over here. Look at this one. How fun is that? I just been going crazy having fun with it. Let's add a little bit of gold in here. And where's our copper? I was like, you gotta have copper. I love copper. So the kind of the thicker you do it, the thicker your skins are going to be. I don't know, but you could do all kinds of stuff with these. All right, let's try our iron. Let me turn on my iron. Takes it just a second to heat up. You want to make sure you have the steam off on your iron. Let's let that heat up. Then what I did, where are they? Maybe we'll do one. You know these leaves? It comes in, because you could do any kind of the leaf and label and the amber embellishments. That's what these are. So let's grab some glue. I'll glue these together. While those are drying, we'll try our iron. I'm only making these thicker so that they kind of don't curl up, is the idea of why you would use the chipboard kind of deal. So our iron should be about heated up here. So you can take this, oops, drop my iron, and then just take our little iron here. Oh, you can move it around, don't smush it. Oh, that's kind of cool. And quick. Let's see what happens. Let it cool a second. Oh, see, it kind of gives it a matte finish. See that? It's kind of a matte finished one. I'm just going to take our little knife here. Wow, look at that. I think she showed, she hit it with her heat gun and made it a little shiny. But I have a feeling that'll make a lot of little holes in this one. I'm going to try it on low. So the difference is with the iron and just the parchment, you get kind of a matte finish. Keep it moving. Yeah, it kind of puts holes in it right away, but that's kind of cool. Gives it some shiny spots and a few little holes. Ooh. Oh, I really like that. So let that dry a second and see what it looks like. Oh, look at that. Wow, doesn't that just scream masculine card? Let's see what it would look like on a, put it on a card, and I'm gonna do it in an angle there, and just put a greeting across there. How neat is that? I'll try to put some cards together with some of these we made and put them into post at the bottom. But, okay, what else did we... Oh, we were going to do our leaf. Let's do our leaf. Alright, let's clean this off. So we know if we use the iron and the parchment, it's not shiny. So let's try... You know, our leaf has got to be gold. And what do we do with that? What did I do with the copper? Got to be copper. Let's try some gold and copper on this leaf. Let's grab our gold. Oh, this is going to be pretty. You know what? I'm going to take a touch of silver. Maybe just do a couple little drops of silver in there. Let's see what that does. Bring in our heat tool. Just kind of bounce it on there to push the parchment into it. I think we about got it. And then I think I'm going to try peeling this one off. Okay, we didn't get much of a skin on that one, but look at that leaf. Oh my goodness. I think if, you know, the thicker you go, the bigger your skin. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is a card just screaming to happen. There you go. And then you can, you know, these little tiny pieces, you can just add them over here and melt them if you want. Look at that leaf. Isn't that to die for? And then here's our skin. The metallics just look so cool. But whatever colors you have. You know what else I have? I have like these Tim Holtz and their enamels. You know, they're embossing enamels. And I think they're kind of translucent. Those might look cool too. Look at those. Oh, that leaf is to die for. I mean, I'd probably just trim off some of the little loose ends there. But look at that. Put that on a card. How neat is that? Alright, well, basically, that was my technique. I saw it, I wanted to share it, how to do some enameling and create these really cool embossing skins. I mean, if you're into mixed media, even not mixed media, I mean, look at this. Oh my goodness. How neat is that? Put a little word across there and doof. I will put some of these together. The hearts, I did some little hearts yesterday, different colors. Grab your embossing powders. You know you've got a whole drawer of them. Try them out. I mean, I have some old browns. I have, oh, some of the old shabby ones that have glitter in them. Oh, get glitter in that. Ooh, how pretty that would be. But anyway, give it a try. Grab your heat tool and some parchment paper, your embossing powders, and go for it. See what you come up with. I would love it if you shared it with me. Love to see what you come up with. And I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I hope you have a very happy Stampin' Day. Bye-bye. Stay safe out there.